We all would like to be more charismatic. You obviously picked this video because it's of interest to you. There's been research, so it's not just something you were born with, but something that can be learned. It's behavioral. A good piece of research in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology identified the behaviors that make a person to be described as charismatic by others. But before I get into those characteristics, I just want to point out one thing that I personally believe, and that is it's situational. Some people are charismatic in front of large groups. They can mesmerize an audience or a stadium full of people even. Other people have charisma when it's just a small group or even one-on-one. Charisma isn't just something that is all the time. It's very situational. So we should think about, where are we most comfortable with other people? Where are we at our best with other people? What are those situations? Is it at a party, or is it at a small discussion group? Is it at a book club meeting? Is it one-on-one? Is it in front of a large group? First, pick where you think you could be most charismatic. All right, so what are the characteristics that the research at the Personality and Social Psychology? Number one is the smile. And that is, I don't mean a Meghan Markle kind of smile where it's just always plastered on like this, but instead a real smile. You can tell a real smile most of the time because it crinkles the eyes. It brings the whole face up. So if someone gives you a real smile, you know it, you feel it. So people who really smile is the number one characteristic. The second thing is effective eye contact, and that is, can you actually tell the color of a person's eyes if you're having a one-on-one kind of discussion? But eye contact actually has been shown in MRIs to trigger certain chemical reactions within the brain when there's more eye contact. Those chemicals are the ones that are associated with rewards and social good feelings. The third one is keeping your hands in view of people. Those people who place their hands behind their back and tend to talk in a more monotone, they're less engaging. You want to have your hands out. We talk with our hands. We listen with our hands. So keeping your hands out, and some research even shows that the more open palms you have, the more people are trusting of you. The fourth thing is, we all have unusual oddities about ourselves. I mean, if I look at myself, I have this white hair, I've had some unusual experiences, and you should embrace your oddities. Let people know. I sometimes joke that, oh, I'm the old guy with the white hair. And it makes me more approachable. It keeps me away from the typical small talk. And you want to find out what other people's uniquenesses are. One of my favorite questions to ask people is, what is the most unusual job you've ever had? It's amazing the stories that you'll hear from people and the insights you'll get into their background and where they came from and how those jobs affected them and how they talk about those jobs. Number 5 was, people who are charismatic tend to be vulnerable in some way. That is, they are authentic and they describe their feelings, their secret worries. They make themselves more human. I'll never forget one time I went to a meeting and I was speaking in front of a group, and I happened to look down and I noticed I had 2 different color socks on. I pointed that out, and after that I could sense a change in the room, that I wasn't this executive in a suit, but I'm a guy that put on the wrong color socks that day. It made me more human to them. Number 6 in the research was that people who are charismatic are very good listeners. They, what I would say, listen wholeheartedly. They're paying attention. They do listening motions. They do listening sounds. Yes. So the person knows that they're being listened to. People want to know that you care. And by showing those listening motions and sounds, you're showing that you do care, that you're engaged. Number 7 was using a person's name. Dale Carnegie, in his famous book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, said people love to hear their own name. And in fact, that's true. The research shows that the more you use a person's name, the closer they feel to you. And that's part of charisma. The last one is the thing that we always do naturally when we meet someone new, and that is you're trying to find mutuality. And the old joke is we went to different schools together. Well, it's true. As soon as you meet someone, you say, well, where are you from? And what do you do? And where'd you grow up? Oh, I actually had a relative that was very close to you, 200 miles from you. So we tend to find those things that we hold in common. The more questions you ask of a person to find those mutualities of interest, of history, any of those kinds of things that sort of say, you're like me. We came from the same place. We came from the same background. Then I feel more comfortable with you. So those are the keys to charisma. Once again, it depends on the place. And that is, are you talking to thousands of people or are you talking to one person? But keep in mind that these are the keys. Use that smile, pay attention to people, engage with them, look them in the eye, find mutuality, be vulnerable, and embrace yourself as an authentic person with oddities. And I think you'll find that people just naturally fall in love with you.